Hey guys, Stephanie here from Escape and Paint. I know it's been a little while since I've been on. We were gone for a gospel meeting last week and just tons of stuff to get caught up on and do, and so I'm just now finally managing to get back to my pumpkin and cat from the flying that Linda from over at the Flying Pig Paint Parties with Miss Linda allowed me to start coloring on my page. So I'm gonna flip the cameras around and we're gonna get back over here and we'll just talk, and I would love to know when you guys pop in. Okay, just say hi. Okay, I apparently need to adjust my camera again. Whoop, wrong way. There we go. You guys see him okay? I think y'all can see him okay today. Try not to flood it too much with too much light. Well, I was working with oil pastels, I believe, the last time we talked and did this. Hey guys, say hi. Let me know you're here. I'll be honest with you, Facebook has algorithms and it doesn't show it to very many people unless we get some interaction, and I really need your help getting some interaction. At least saying hi and a few words would be great. Maybe popping in and saying, hey, I'm watching from, just to say that you're watching. Okay, I'm gonna try not to put this on my keyboard. I'm rearranging this desk because it's just not cooperating with me half the time. So, okay, so I'm trying to figure out what shade I want to do. Those don't even look orange at all. So, this looks like a really good base orange for our pumpkins. Thinking this looks like a really good darker shade, and these two may be good highlight shades. So, I don't even know how I managed to get the mess on here, but we're gonna see if we can clean it up. And I will try to figure out what I want to do for a background on these. This is just so cute. Alright, so I've got me some paper towels, and I think when I first logged in you guys could see that I had some Q-tips here today, just so I can smudge around a little better as we're coloring these. How's everybody doing? I wanted to say I'm really sorry for being so absentee so long. When we went, I brought my oil pastels. I brought my coloring sheet. I even brought my Archon stand so that I could set it up and do a live at my friend's house while we were out of town. And you know, when you're out visiting and you go out doing things, things get put to the side when you're not at home. So that's what I did. I put it off till later. And here we are. It's been a week or so since I've done anything. Hey guys, when y'all pop in, if you would, please help me out. And just leave a little comment saying, hey, I'm watching from. And then fill in where you're watching from. Facebook and their algorithms don't necessarily care for us to ask for you to use that little arrow-shaped button down there at the bottom. And it doesn't necessarily do that unless I have commentary and engagement from my audience. So I would really appreciate if you guys would help me out and let me know who's here and watching and who's hanging out with me today. I tagged Linda's page where I got this picture to download, and I think she would absolutely love it if you guys would pop over there and find a post that has them on there, because she had several of us that were asking about them and talking about them because they were just so cute. And I told her I was going to have to Frankenstein them a little, and she says, oh, don't worry about doing that, just color them like they are. And I was like, really? I said, you'd let me do that on my page? And she says, yes, I would. So anyway, so I'm going to grab a Q-tip here and just kind of see if I can mush it around a little bit. again, like with the cat, we wanted to kind of keep as much of it in the shape as we can. That way our streaks, any streaking or any texture that gets added going in the direction of the pumpkin. Most pumpkins, the texture is going to come from the top of the pumpkin down to the bottom. All the streaks are going to kind of follow the lines that, like these lines right here, they would not be going across back and forth when the pumpkin is sitting like this. So we kind of want to make sure that when we're doing these, we kind of want to add to that, I don't know, it makes it look more real. It's not really real looking. It just gives it the more like an accurate, a layer of accuracy to it, maybe, because it's not necessarily accurate, because most pumpkins don't have this, aren't colored in cartoony looking colors and stuff, but at the same time it does add to that texture that comes with it being real. Hey guys, say hi, tell me where you're watching from if you don't mind. That would be really awesome so I can say hey. I was just saying I'm really sorry that I've been kind of off the monitor lately, off the radar. We were out of town for a gospel meeting where my husband was preaching a gospel meeting, and then when we got home we had some things going on personal life wise that just kind of blew us for a loop, and it's just been a really long week for me, and I'm just struggling really hard to keep pushing. And it seemed like every day this week I had plans to go live, and then every day this week I am going to comment real quick just to see if that helps. We're gonna edit that one because I apparently can't type. Y'all, I'm a mess. I know I'm a mess. There we go. Oh, I'm getting orange all over the keys over here. That'll be fun. I'll have to clean that up after. How did I, what? Oh, y'all, this computer and I are about to go nuts. Okay, so anyway, now that should cover me in case I am just not seeing comments because it is being cantankerous and I need to put a comment. Usually that fixes things. Not always. That's okay. Oh. Some of these we're not worrying about keeping perfectly in with our texture, the texture that we're going for, the directional texture effects. And some of it we are definitely wanting to capture. Putting this base coloring on, and see, I think I'm going to do this little one over here a little different color. I'm guessing I probably just need to start getting faster at everything I do. I take forever to do things. How about y'all? Does anybody take a long time when they're doing things? I guess I'm slow and methodical. meticulous. Is that what it is? Okay, I'm trying to see if there was anything showing up on my Facebook, and it's not, so hang on. In case I'm missing comments over here, because we all know that Facebook is cranky. Nope, we're good. Alrighty, well, so I'm going to take my other end of my Q-tip because that's just pretty much covered right over there, and it's all. And again, I'm just kind of smudging it around a little bit. I don't want to get all of the orange off, but we want to minimize what's there, otherwise it's going to get all over us forever. And I think the different layers, the different levels of dark versus light add some to our, that adds to the texture as well as to the depth. And I do have a much darker orange that I plan to go over some of this with in an attempt to, I think I got that too light now. We'll have to go over it, won't we? Okay. So, hey everybody, if you don't mind saying hi, just saying where, maybe telling me where you're watching from. How's the weather where you're at? Is Hurricane Zeta anywhere near y'all? Is she angling your direction but not tonight? We have a cold front coming in from one direction, and we're not supposed to get anything directly from Zeta, but we, or whatever her name, whatever that one is, I think it's Zeta. And I'm pretty sure it's Hurricane Zeta. We've got a cold front coming in from one direction. We've got the hurricane and the spray off. I don't think we're supposed to get a whole lot of that, but we usually get a little bit of residual rain and stuff, but not tons and tons. Smear that. Try not to thin it out too much because I don't want it too thin. Okay, I think I'm going to reach back in here. I'm going to find a brown to go back over some of this. I'm going to put some darker in there, and then I'm going to kind of cover him in, and then we're going to get another Q-tip over here. We're going to kind of smudge it around. I don't want it to be like all gone. And then, yeah. There we go. That's looking better. That's looking. Haven't decided what color nose my kitten needs. What color nose does the kitten need? And do I want glowy green eyes, or do I want just normal green eyes? Can't decide, y'all. That's the fun of creating online, though, when you've got people watching with you and hanging out and talking to you. If y'all will actually talk to me, we can create together and definitely can enjoy the creative processes. I think my pumpkin's gonna have yellow teeth. What do y'all think? Because he's been eating something he shouldn't. think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do his whole mouth in some yellow too. Just to kind of give it that glow, that evil, eerie glow that comes from a light inside a jack-o'-lantern. And he's monstrously scary. I'm going to take this darker red one and I'm going to come along here and trace the outlines again. Some of those shading spots that she gave us to work with. Some of those. These don't have to be perfectly exact. We're going to smudge them out because this is, again, an oil pastel. I may actually do this color for his mouth. Just because I think it'll be like, oh no! Okay. Now I'm going to kind of this is not wanting to smear in. So we're going to keep working on it. That's the other thing, when you experiment online, you learn together what does and doesn't work. So I'm going to be just kind of pulling this around a little bit and kind of working on some shading with him. So Sue has joined the Artists for Breast Cancer Awareness 2020 group. And if you haven't, you might want to do that. There is a group. We're finishing up this week, but we have a special treat for you on Friday with our guest artist. Our special guest artist. And sorry, I'm kind of focusing on details here. There we go. And I'm just going to draw a few little long lines down and around. Some I'm going to stop at the top, some I'm going to pull on down, just to add some slight variation in color here. Some of these, if I don't like them, you can just kind of rub them in, rub them out, rub them around, blend them a little bit, go back over it with a little bit of that orange and add a little more of that shading in there. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that there. Yep, there we go. I'm going to put just a hair back in here. And that definitely need to be a little more there. Alright. So I think what I'm going to try over here is going over some of this shading ahead of time. Just to see if that helps that to stay a little darker there. We'll see. We're still going to rub it in a little bit. Out the way, yellow. Alright, I'm trying not to rub it all off. I just kind of want to smear it around a little bit and kind of give it that longer, darker shaded in spot, and then we'll go over that with orange, with our shade of orange that we're going to put on this one. I'm not going to use that same shade. I'm going to use this one. I'm kind of got to wipe it off. Kind of dirty. Hey guys. Hey Jan, how are you, sweetheart? Thanks for saying hi. If you haven't already, Linda Calloway, and I've tagged her page in here. Linda Calloway is where I got this picture from, and she is so sweet to say that I could color it online. And if you're interested in coloring these, you need to go talk to Miss Linda and see. I think she was letting us all color it if we wanted to. Her only request was, one, that we told everybody where we found it, and two, that we showed her our finished picture. So I'm trying to finish mine up. This is from like 2 weeks ago, where I've been out of town and had a lot of stuff going on when we got back into town, so that it was really just kind of a long week, and I'm still only barely managing to get in here and get this tonight. How is everybody tonight? How's things going over at Fine Again Finds? Fine Again Finds? Fine Ground Finds? Jan, mention your page, please and thank you. Okay, so I'm trying to finish. Yes. And I'm gonna get me another Q-tip. I knew I'd need several. And I'm gonna just kind of use this one and see how you can see how it kind of adds just a little bit. And if you don't grab all of the oil pastel, there's still some different layers of color in there. I think I liked having put the darker reddish orange one in there under on this one. I think I like how that worked out with the helping to shade him some. Needs definitely a little bit lighter shade of orange on there. Now, what color? What color? But just a few. And then I'm going to put just a few of these lighter ones in here, and I'm going to leave those on there. I'm going to take the shade of orange that the other pumpkin is, and I'm going to kind of go around him just a little bit, adding just a few little streaks in there. I don't know if you can see them really well. I think they're kind of showing up, but I'm trying to make sure that you can kind of sort of see what I'm doing here. And again, I traveled with these, so obviously that was not the wisest move, or I didn't know how to travel well with them. All right, so for the eyes, I think I'm going to do if I can find a glowy green eye. I think I'm going to do some glowy green for these eyes. I want them to be kind of spooky. Let's see, is that spooky glowy green enough? I'm just kind of lightly tapping all the big fuzzy pieces, big chunky bits down. I like those eyes. I'm not liking our teeth. That's my big problem. They just kind of look the wrong shade now. Maybe I should have done them in orange after all. Maybe I'll go over them with some orange. Okay. How's that? Alright, guys. Y'all can chime in anytime you want to and tell me what you think. Tell me if I'm messing him up more than I'm really not digging these teeth this color. That looks a little better. Let's see, is that glowy green enough, or should I add some light green to it too? Let's see. Where's my glowy green? Alright, I've put a lighter green, it's almost like a pastel green in here for some highlights with these eyeballs. I think I like the glowy green one. Okay, I'm looking for my black again. I should have a black somewhere. I know I did. There we go. Gonna kind of go over these. I think that'll make the glowy green look better because it'll be a slightly darker. Yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's definitely looking spookier. I think I'm going to go over the inside of the mouth with the black after all. I was going to leave it with a yellow hint to it. Trying to give it the lantern lit kind of look. But I think the little bit of dark there goes a long way. I think I'm going to do the same for this little guy if I can figure out how to get this in his eyeballs, because let me tell you, they are tiny looking. Yep, I covered over the innards, so I'm going to have to try and figure out how to smudge that out without. Okay, now I've got to find a white because I know I had one. I saw one earlier. White. That'll be. Oh, there's white. There's white. All right. Hey guys, if you're here, say hi. Oh. Okay, correct. I like what you're doing. Hello. Hope you're enjoying the Weird Pumpkin. I am loving the Weird Pumpkin, Miss Linda. Thank you for letting me. You borrow it. My thing wasn't scrolling. I had comments I didn't see, so I am absolutely loving our weird little pumpkins. Wasn't sure what you was calling them, but I love them. I'm trying to make them as eerie and spooky as I can, Miss Linda. I'm doing some oil pastels, playing with them, trying to learn how to use them a little bit, because I thought these just look like the perfect project for learning that with. What color nose should we give him? Come on, guys. Tell me, which color nose should I do? I don't think it needs a pink nose, but I can't decide if it needs a pink nose or if it just needs a black nose. I've got a gray here, and I don't think the gray would be as dark as the other nose would. Anything with a cat is scary enough. Ha 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 ha, Philip. You're so funny. I think we're gonna do it a gray nose. I was trying to decide if the cat should have some like creepy colored eyes, like red or green. I gave the pumpkin the green eyes instead because I thought they looked good, but I could always make them red. I think we could always make those red on top of it instead. Come on, guys, help me out here. I'm well known for being horrid at making decisions, so y'all have to help me out here. He's got a gray nose, but it's not looking very gray, is it? It is not looking very gray. What color should I make our eyeballies? Our eyes. Okay. So with our little kitten, I am going to give it a pink. If I can find a pink, the right shade of pink. This looks way too bright a pink. Oh, that's not pink enough. Okay, this will have to do. This is the closest I've got. Okay. I'm going to color the insides of my ears. I'm going to give it just a little bit on the nose. There we go. There we go. I'm going back over it and kind of dragging it in and out a little bit. Not off completely. Apparently off completely on one of them. So gotta go back over those just a little bit. Like I said, this is a learning curve for me with the oil pastels for sure. And I'm having loads of fun trying them. Let's add some. Shall we do red on the eyeballs? We shall do. That just took it up to a weird notch of creepy. Okay. Yep, that just took it up to a real creepy kind of level there. The kitty has red eyes. Alright, I'm going to put white dots in there. Alright. I think I'm done with this one. I just have to figure out what to do for the background and the bottom, and then I'll be done. So, let's have some gray down here. Okay, I gotta get that one out from underneath this. I have the other one that Miss Linda was allowing us to color, or allowing me to color. I think she was allowing anybody else who wanted to color it and just post it on her page, because she had a post up there with them on there. Whew. And I just was thinking it was so cool. All right, let me put that back up. All right. Well, Miss Linda, just so you know, most of us in my house are real big dog fans. And I'm not anti-cat, but my husband's not a big cat fan. We'll just leave it at that. That might help you to understand the statement that he made there. We had a cat when we first got married, and my poor husband, I don't think he slept very good until after that cat was gone. Because that cat would get up there in the middle of the night, and if he twitched his foot, it would jump on his foot. And her claws could go through layers of blankets. And she would attack. Alright, that's got a pretty gray on the bottom. What's a good color for our background? I'm trying to use something I haven't used yet. Okay, where did my color wheel go? Zoe, what did we do with my color wheel yesterday? Zoe was sitting in here with me yesterday, and we were doing something, and she had my color wheel. I'm trying to figure out where I put it. Sweet child, I love you. There it is. Okay. Alright. So, complementary colors on the coloring wheel kind of help things to pop. So, if we have orange, we may want to add some blue to make it really pop and look kind of 3D-ish. So, let's go with some blue. Let's slide off that. Alright. Say hi as y'all come in. I think this is going to be perfect. Should I do a lighter blue or a darker blue? I think I'm going to do a medium shade of blue because I've got a really dark one. There's a blue gray. I don't think that's what I want. Okay, guys. I have a dark blue, a really dark blue, really light blue, and then a teal blue. Shall I do teal? I'm not seeing the answers scrolling down any further, so my comments aren't scrolling through like I thought. Come on. Teal. Teal it is. That works. I apologize now for the delay because I was waiting on some comments. I was kind of leaning toward the teal, but I wanted somebody else, at least one other person, to say teal. I think that's going to be the perfect color for this. That helps to cover some of my smudges up a little bit where I was smudging. Okay, I'm going to have to get it all on the board. Sorry. I put a piece of paper down a couple of weeks ago, and it's just catching all kinds of stuff. I don't mind the desktop getting dirty because, hello, I am doing art. It is going to get everywhere. But I've tried really hard to be careful with keeping it from getting terribly bad and just staying messy. So I happen to have one down here. I actually had a couple down here. I was playing with one earlier, trying to test my glitter to see if it's going to look like. And see, yeah, see, this silver has some blue and pink and yellow in the glitter too. I don't know if y'all can see that even or not. Yeah, I think y'all can see it there. See, that's supposed to be silver glitter, but it has pink and blue in there. So I'm kind of going, Am I getting a messed up bottle of the Glitterific or what? So we'll just see. Because I think that's great on some things, but on some things you just want the bigger silver. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. But anyway, I've got several sheets of multimedia paper, mixed media paper. I think it's multimedia, but that I leave sitting around on my desk these days so that I can kind of work and not have to be quite so worried about certain things. I forget. Hey, Chris, how you doing, girl? Jan, I think good night, Miss Linda, and I will post a finished picture on your page when I get a chance. Thank you for sharing your sweet design with us. The Flying Pig Paint Parties with Miss Linda is where I got this design. I started coloring it on a couple of weeks ago before we had to leave town for something and before something else happened. Whew. It's like there's a mess going on here. And then a lot of stuff happened, and so anyway, I'm finally getting back to it tonight, trying to finish this one up. I'm playing with oil pastels. I've never really played. I played with them one other time before I did the cat, and we bought a kit that had some in it at Sam's Club. It really wasn't expensive. And then my daughter remembered that she had been given a box of art supplies, and most of it was paints, and a lot of it had been dried up. They said that they knew some of it wasn't, it wasn't in the best of shape, but and so she pulled it out and says, "Here, try these, Mom. See if these will work." And it did have some the pastels, the oil pastels in there. So I'm just kind of playing with them. You've got to learn how to pull it off, because if you leave it on there thick, I mean, just rubbing here gets it really, really leaves a lot on there, and I've got it all over me. Like, it's on my keyboard over here on my computer. It's hilarious. But it's a matter of, art's supposed to be a little messy, isn't it? So I filled that in really dark, and you can tell where I filled it in really dark there, and I didn't fill it in really dark there. So do I worry about trying to fix that, or do I just let the background be shades? I'm trying to not drag too much of this cat down in here, because that's still got some darker black around the edges on him. All right, so they really weren't that expensive to get some, but I just had to be brave enough to do it. I didn't take art after a certain point in school, so I just really never paid a lot of attention to the oil plastic. They do blend really, really well, Miss Linda. They do. I agree. I'm learning and playing. I played with a pumpkin one day when my husband and father had his dad at the doctor's office several months. Well, I guess it was a month or so before he passed. And I sit in the car. I go with Philip because we lived a couple of hours from where his dad lived, and regularly it was just kind of a long drive. And it was like, no, you don't need to make that long monotonous drive by yourself. And so I would go with him, but I would just sit in the car rather than going into the doctor's office with him. So I would take me some art, something to work on, to learn, some project to try, or I would assign myself homework from, like, learning some social media, something that I'm supposed to be doing. And so one day I just grabbed the oil pastels and said, okay, we're going to try something. I don't know what, but we're going to try it. And I'd taken my pad of paper with me. If I remember here in a minute, I'll look for that one. It was a pumpkin, and I was just playing with shading, learning to shade. Trying to smear it in the same direction so it all looks like it's going the same way, because some of these I can tell it looks. But then again, it could just be kind of shading in the walls too, couldn't it? Kind of the shadows on the wall. I think that was a good picture, a good color to put by that pumpkin. I think it's going to help make him pop just a little bit. Not make him hard to see, but it'll definitely make him where you can, where it adds a little bit and notices it. Yeah, I'm kind of tickled with how the pumpkins are turning out right now, at least, because the blending is just about perfect. I mean, it just, again, it's a little messy though. Hang on. Edit this one. After that. Did I pull it out? No, I didn't. Okay. So here I'm gonna pop it back. I'm gonna put it right here. Can y'all see that? I did that one with the oil pastels, playing with them, learning to mess with them. They're a little too perfectly round, but like I said, I was just learning that day, so I just pulled out the oil pastels that I had with me. Again, I think it was these. And I just was kind of learning to play with them, and just decided I would draw something. I didn't care what, but something. So I've really kind of enjoyed getting to use them and learn how to use them well. And that one is like covered. All right. So now. I like it. I think it's a really good color against it, because it doesn't make it look like, it adds almost a three-dimensional effect, because complementary colors on the color wheel can do that for each other, and that without it being exactly across, it doesn't go too crazy, but it's really good, I think. Whoop. I like it too, Jan. I like it too. I think it's a good color for it. Okay. Now I'm going to kind of rub this one down. I don't know if you're supposed to use something specific when you're rubbing these down. Like I said, any kits or anything we've got really hadn't had loads of instructions on how to or what you should do. I've just kind of watched some YouTube videos, and I see when they do these, they usually kind of use tissue paper or something, and I don't know if tissue paper is the equivalent of like actual tissue paper, or if they mean just like some paper towels, or if paper towels is too rough and it rubs too much off. I don't think the other one is smeared as much, so I think it does kind of stop smearing as it gets dried on there. Miss Linda, if you're still here, you would probably know better than I do. And see, I did it on paper on purpose so that I could, if I wanted to, frame it or put it in something to keep it from smearing on all over everything else. So that's a good question. The pumpkin one, I don't recall still being overly smeary, and I did it some time back. Let me pull it out and look. No, you can kind of still smear some of it. Depends on how thick it is when you finish with it. I'll say that for sure, because I had some spots that were really thin, and it seemed like it wasn't going to smear that very much at all. But then there was some that still had a little bit thicker, like for the layers of colors, and that was like, yeah, it's just still waiting for me to smear it. So kind of trying to get that one looking a little more like it's all going the straight directions. I think I like it. I think I like it. I'm trying to definitely blow it off any of the stuff there so that it does not. All right, guys. I think it depends on how thick it is, whether it will keep smearing or not. Because I think where I've got some darker colors in here shading wise, if I smeared it, it would still smear and smudge in. On the other pumpkin, I tried smearing some of it, and it was smudging some where it was still thicker, but it wasn't smudging as fast or as easy as it did originally. So I think it slows, and maybe eventually it will stop. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Lord willing, I will get on here tomorrow and do my other pumpkins and with the crow and the rat. And then Friday night at 7 p.m. we are doing a online paint party for snowman. And anybody who wants to join us, we're going to do it on the Painted Soul Studio page, and we're just going to open it up. And if y'all want to join us in our Zoom and paint with us on Zoom and just visit and paint snowmen. That was our only requirement, is that we're doing a snowman. So if y'all want to join us there, then watch my page for the link. I will put the link on there before we do it, but that'll be Friday night at 7 p.m. Central on Painted Soul Studio is where we're planning to stream. But I think most of us that are participating, if we have a business page, we're going to share it to our business page too, so you guys can find it. We would love to have you join us, Jan, if you're available, and you too, Miss Linda, if you're available. No pressure though, because I know some people, the time zone's different and everything else. So I'm going to put it on that one again real quick and say thank you guys for joining me. I hope you enjoyed my little pumpkins and the cat. Let's see. There you go. All right. I think the green eyes are just right. And then I'm going to try and do this one. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do it in oil pastels or if I'm going to try it with something else. I just can't bring myself. I'm not a big marker fan. I can't seem to get it to blend and not be all messy. And I have watercolors on my to-do list, but I'm just not that brave. So I don't know if I want to try watercoloring these or not. I may oil pastel them and play with those again. So anyway, tomorrow I plan to try and come on. I will likely do it around 8:30, 9 o'clock again. Well, maybe it was closer to 9:30, I guess. I didn't realize it was that late. But I'll try to probably pop in around 8:30, 9 o'clock tomorrow. If I haven't sooner, Lord willing, I'll get my schedule figured out and I'll get to where I can do it pretty regular at a specific time, and I'll be able to tell y'all for sure. I'll be here at 9:05. But I'll see y'all tomorrow, and thank y'all for joining me. I really enjoyed getting to chat with you, Jan. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye.